For a lot of people, Hyatt and Marriott are the preferred programs. And that is for good reason. Marriott has the largest footprint of any hotel chain in the world, and Hyatt offers great redemption if you transfer over your points from Chase or Bilt Rewards over to Hyatt. But there's no doubt in my mind that the best hotel card ecosystem is with Hilton. And today we are going to be talking about two cards that compete with each other for mindshare: the Hilton Honors Surpass card and the Hilton Honors Aspire card. If you're making a decision between the two, this is the video for you. The structure of the video is going to go something like this. We're going to focus on the features of the card to begin with, move on to the factors affecting the choice of these cards, and arrive at a conclusion of which is the better card between the two and what I personally chose. So buckle up and let's get into it. As we review the features of the card, we're going to focus on the intro offer, the annual fee on the card, the benefits of the card, and the multiplier. The Hilton Honors Surpass card comes with a $150 annual fee, and the Hilton Honors Aspire card comes with a $550 annual fee. The Hilton Honors Surpass card has a very strong intro offer running now through the end of April. If you spend more than $3,000 over a 6-month time period, you get 130,000 Hilton Honors points as well as a free award night. Unlike a lot of Marriott's free award nights as well as Hyatt's free award nights, Hilton free award nights can get you into pretty much any hotel. That includes the like of Waldorf Astoria, LXR, Conrad, to name a few. As for the Hilton Honors Aspire card, you can get 175,000 points after spending $6,000 in the first 6 months of card ownership. While those numbers might look very strong, remember that Hilton Honors points are less valuable than something like Hyatt. Which brings us to the benefits. The Hilton Honors Surpass card comes with a $200 Hilton credit. This is broken down into $50 every single month, and you can use this $50 at pretty much any Hilton property. You can get another free award night on top of the intro offer free award night that you have right now after you spend $15,000 in a calendar year. And benefits is the place where the Hilton Honors Aspire card really shines. You get a $400 Hilton Resort credit, which is broken down into $200 every 6 months. Keep in mind that this credit is different than the credit on the Hilton Surpass card in that this can only be applied at specific Hilton resorts. And this list, unlike the list for their free award night, is not as exhaustive. You also get a $200 flight credit that's broken down into $50 every single quarter. You also get a credit of $199 for clear. And with the annual fee of the card, you get a free night award, and you can earn another free night award after spending $30,000 in a calendar year. Which brings us then to the multiplier, which is where the Hilton Surpass does a lot more with less. 6x back on dining, groceries, and gas, 4x back on online retail purchases, and 3x back on everything else. This is one of very few cards in the industry that gets you 4x back on online retail purchases. And the notable multipliers on the Hilton Honors Aspire card come in the form of 7x back on travel, specifically flights and car rentals, 7x back on dining, and 3x back on everything else. And if you're interested in applying for the 175,000 point offer on the Hilton Honors Aspire card, consider using my referral link below. It definitely helps out the channel. Let's move on to the factors which affects which card one would pick. And the first factor, like every other comparison video that I've made, comes down to the kind of traveler you are. If you're an ardent traveler and you travel multiple times in a year and you really like staying at Hilton properties, then the Hilton Honors Aspire card is for you. Because the Hilton Honors Aspire card gives you credits for flights as well as for Hilton resorts. And additionally, you get a free night award that you can use at Hilton properties. And I would argue most people who hold this card also hold a bunch of other cards in their wallet. If you're an infrequent traveler and you don't mind staying at Hilton properties when you do travel, you can make some use of the $50 credit that you get on Hilton properties every single quarter. The second factor I want to talk about is the status that you get with each of these credit cards and how that affects international versus domestic travel. I did mention this when talking about the benefits of the card, but the Hilton Honors Aspire card comes with Diamond status, which is the top tier status within the Hilton program. While these status may not mean much when traveling within the US, when you go outside of the US, especially when you're traveling to Asia, status is everything. Diamond status almost guarantees you an upgrade. And that is why the Hilton Honors Aspire card might cater and even appeal to international travelers. With the Hilton Honors Surpass card, you get access to gold membership, and that's why I think it caters to more domestic travelers. Because whether you're gold or diamond doesn't really mean much in the US. There are a bunch of consultants who fly a bunch who probably have priority over you, even though you have diamond, because you don't really stay at the hotel. And so, gold status might suffice because gold status too gives you access to free breakfast at some of these properties. Which brings us to the third factor, which is the number of cards in your setup. If you have multiple cards in your setup, you're probably a better fit for the Hilton Honors Aspire card, as strange as that sounds. Conventional thinking may dictate that if you have so many credit cards, why would you add another credit card at $550 annual fee? My argument against that is the distinction between value and cost. If you have a bunch of credit cards, you probably understand that balance really well, and so you don't mind paying $550 if you can see more value generated for that $550. Whereas a person who's looking at a single card setup, the Hilton Honors Surpass card actually fits brilliantly in. It gives you some amount of travel benefits, but more importantly, it brings some really strong multipliers, which brings us to the fourth factor, which is whether you're looking for a catch-all card or a single card setup. Because if you're looking for the benefit card, there is only one way to go, and that's the Hilton Honors Aspire card, where you can extract a lot more value than the annual fee on the card. And if you look at the multipliers on the card, well, they're not bad, but they're not necessarily great. The only high-level multipliers that you get with a credit card are on dining and on travel. And even within travel, it's focused on just flights and car rentals. But with the Hilton Honors Surpass card, you get really, really strong multipliers. You get 6x back on 3 categories, like I said: gas, dining, and groceries. And for a lot of families and people, those are the 3 categories that matter the most. And I mentioned this before as well, but the 4x back on online purchases is also very, very strong. Now, while Hilton Honors points may not be the strongest in the ecosystem, you're also getting very high multipliers that can mean a lot if Hilton is the only property that you stay at. Having discussed all the 4 factors, let's move on to the conclusion. I believe the card I would choose for almost all scenarios between the 2 cards is the Hilton Honors Surpass card. And this is going to be for a few reasons. Number 1, if you're not a card enthusiast, and most people aren't, this is an incredible card to hold in your wallet as a 1-card setup. You get incredible multipliers, and the few times that you would travel, well, you can stay at Hilton properties. Because of the great multipliers on the Hilton credit cards, you must have amassed a huge amount of Hilton points. And when you stay at Hilton properties, you can make use of the $200 Hilton credit, even though it's broken down into $50 every single quarter, and that can be frustrating. The second reason is the stronger intro offer that the card has right now, where you can earn 130,000 points after spending $3,000 in the first 6 months. And you can earn a free award night that can be used at pretty much any hotel within the Hilton chain. And lastly, if this is the only card you're holding, you're probably spending more than $15,000 within a calendar year on the card, which means you earn another free night award on the card. So that makes it 2 free night awards for the year. Now, if you do not follow credit cards closely, you may be wondering, what are these free night awards worth? Well, let me show you an example. If you look at the Waldorf Astoria in Los Cabos, which is a hotel we would have visited by the time you're seeing this video, if you look at the month of May, prices can vary between $2,000 to $3,500. And if you look at the standard room available, you have 2 days available on the 16th and the 18th, where you could use those 2 nights. And therefore, you can extract a ton of value from your Hilton Honors points. Now, while I made the choice for most people, my personal preference is the Hilton Honors Aspire card, because I'm someone who has more than 35 credit cards. And for me, value to the annual fee ratio is actually more important than what I pay for a credit card. While for me personally, the Hilton Honors Aspire card works better, but for most people out there, the Hilton Honors Surpass card is the way to go. And the principle of less is more truly applies. Let me know in the comments below what you would choose, and I'll see you in the next one.